Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of a very specific piece of audio gear. It's the Kramer YARDEN-8-T, an 8-inch, high-performance, ceiling tile stereo speaker. Our mission really is to unpack what high-performance sound control actually means when you look at the specs for something like this, especially in, a commercial setting. We're digging into the detailed product info installation guides because honestly, to get why this costs what it does, you have to see the engineering inside.
That's exactly right. We are firmly in the enterprise zone here. The level of technical detail confirms that these aren't just speakers. They're designed for, well, precise installations, arrays even. Compliance, coverage, power distribution. That's the name of the game.
Okay, let's pull this apart then. What gives the YARDEN-8-T this high-performance two-way label? I mean, Kevlar and titanium sounds more like aerospace than office ceilings.
Well, that's it, isn't it? The materials tell a story about durability and, crucially, sound dispersion. You start with the woofer. It's an 8-inch Kevlar cone, rubber surround, standard high-end stuff maybe. But the tweeter setup is interesting. It uses 4 separate pivoting 0.75-inch titanium domes. 4 of them.
4 tweeters, wow. Pivoting too.
Yeah, pivoting. Think about it, applying that kind of construction, materials you associate with high-fidelity audio, to something that lives above, like a cubicle farm or a waiting room.
And all that feeds into their K-overage ESD, equals sound dispersion, aiming for nearly 180 degrees of sound.
Exactly. Almost a full hemisphere of sound from one point.
That sounds impressive, almost too much maybe. In a big open office, wouldn't that much spread cause, echo issues, reflections everywhere?
The trade-off, sure. But the strategy behind that wide dispersion is often about coverage efficiency. If one speaker covers way more ground...
then you need fewer speakers overall.
Precisely. Fewer units means less cabling, less installation time, lower overall project cost. For system integrators, planning a large space, that's a huge factor.
Okay, makes sense from an installation perspective. And speaking of installation, there are physical requirements too. It's UL listed 1480 and 2043 and plenum compliant.
Critical points. Plenum compliance means it's safe for that space above the drop ceiling, the air circulation space. Big deal in commercial buildings. You just can't install non-plenum gear there. And Kramer threw in a nice touch for installers. The grille snaps on magnetically, quick, though they do include security screws for places where it needs to be permanently fixed.
Right. Safety first. So, okay, it's safely installed up there, compliant. Now let's talk flexibility. The selector switches seem pretty important here. There are 2. Stereo mono, okay, and then this speech music selector. What's that doing?
That's all about tailoring the sound profile. Music mode gives you the full frequency range, richness, depth. But switch it to speech. It actually adjusts the EQ, focuses the output more on the frequencies critical for voice intelligibility. Think presentations, announcements, paging systems, makes things clearer.
Okay. So conference room, maybe speech mode, restaurant playing background music, flip it to music.
Exactly. You optimize it for the primary use case of that specific zone.
And it needs the power to back that up. Specs say 2 by 40 watts RMS, 2 by 110 watts continuous. That's quite a bit for a ceiling speaker.
It is, and that power handling ties into the whole impedance and transformer setup. It's got this multi-tap power transformer built in, specifically for these large array installs.
Why is that transformer so crucial? Why not just wire it up like a home speaker?
Because with potentially dozens, even hundreds of speakers across a large building, you can't use standard low-impedance wiring like 8 ohms. The signal loss over long distances would be massive, and the load on the amplifier impossible. So you use a high-voltage system, typically 7 volts or 100 volts. This lets you run thinner cables over very long distances and daisy-chain many speakers in parallel onto a single amplifier channel. Much more efficient.
So the 8 ohm setting is there, but maybe not used as often in big installs.
Right. The 8 ohm option bypasses the transformer. You'd use that for maybe a shorter cable run where you want the absolute highest fidelity, perhaps just 1 or 2 speakers connected directly to an amp channel. But for large distributed systems, it's all about the 70 or 100 volt taps.
And those taps, those are the power settings.
Yes, they let the installer fine-tune the power going to each individual speaker. For example, on the 70 volt setting in mono mode, you can choose taps like 7.5 watts, 15 watts, 30 watts, all the way up to 60 watts.
So you match the power to the space. Quiet hallway gets 7.5 watts. Busy lobby gets 60.
Precisely. It ensures consistent volume levels across different acoustic environments without overloading the amplifier or wasting power. It's about granular control across the entire system.
That is a remarkable level of built-in control. For anyone considering this, HDTV Supply has it listed currently at $440, down from a $550 MSRP, and they mention free lifetime tech support, which sounds useful for something this complex.
Absolutely. The Yarden-8-T really is a specialized tool. It's engineered for maximum control, wide, even sound dispersion, and meeting those strict installation codes in commercial spaces where acoustics and compliance, well, they really matter. So here's something to think about. Given all those transformer taps, the power modes, the speech music switch, how much does the installer's choice, that one specific setting they pick for your area, actually shape your listening experience? Even with that fancy equal sound dispersion tech, how much control is really in their hands versus the hardware itself? Something for you to mull over.